All right, you loyal listeners. Welcome to another episode of Agency Intelligence, where I give you a real agent inside a real agency, giving you the real agency intelligence and not the artificial that they try to make you believe out there. So I am today here with someone that you all know. You're not going to be like, oh, who's this dude? Like, Brandon is a pretty normal name. Smith is a pretty normal name. But when you put them together, you get Brandon Smith out of Montana, boys. You better back up right now. And, okay, I'm a little excited, but loyal listeners, I know you already knew because you read it and then you hit play. But I really want to build it up, right? I got to build it up because, Brandon, I'm really, really happy to have you on here, man. And you're here for a specific reason, and I'm looking forward to speak to you about it.
Jason Cass, always an honor, always a pleasure to be here, to have an opportunity, just a brief window to speak into the life of your listeners, your loyal listeners. You know, you put on a phenomenal product, you got a great podcast, great show here, and your listeners are loyal. They keep coming back because of what you bring to the table. And so I'm just honored to spend a few minutes here today and be a part of that and visit with you. So let's go. Let's do this.
Well, thank you. I appreciate your compliments, and the loyal listeners, they are loyal, and they are, and I greatly appreciate them very much. Something that I don't say, which I just found out this morning, which for all you loyal listeners out there. So when I first started, probably about 5 years into this, I started in 2013. At around 2017, 2018, we had like 5,000 agents who listened a month, right? I just found out today we are at 37,000 a month now. Last month we had 36. We've never hit 37,000, and we just did. And to let you know that, loyal listeners, is mind-blowing to me that we would ever be there. When I first started this, I remember, Brandon, I remember when I got my first download. And when I did my first download, a lot of people would be excited about it. I turned to my wife and I said, holy shit, people are actually going to listen to this. I swear to God, that's the whole reason we did it. But it has. And the reason why this is a big deal of 37 is because when I bring people like yourself on, Brandon, who I think can make a big impact by providing a need in the insurance industry, it's all about getting it out, right? As some podcasters will say, well, I'm not about downloads, I'm about impact. Well, that sounds great, but if you want to impact people, they got to listen, right? And that has to do with downloads. And so I'm very thankful to have you on here and very thankful to have the loyal listeners. I really, truly am.
Awesome. Well, congrats. That's 37K is no small feat. That's huge. So let's keep the trend going and let's hit 40.
Yeah, so there's a lot of people that are listening to this. So Brandon, we'll make no bones about it. We brought you on here because of what you're doing and what you've created, which I think is really, really amazing. And I'm not just saying that, loyal listeners, I mean it. What he has done and the help he is trying to provide you, your agency, and people who work for you, or if you're a producer, you, is pretty amazing. And we're going to get to that. Before we do, iPhone or Droid user, Brandon?
iPhone.
I'll forgive you this time. What's the last app?
2021. There's no other option.
That's a good comeback. Thank God Facebook doesn't have a phone, right? Or it wouldn't have worked yesterday. Anyways, that's not funny because there's a lot of people who... I was talking to a guy that he had a problem turning up his thermostat. His thermostat is a thermostat that somehow is ran by his internet, which he signs in through Facebook. And because he couldn't sign in, he lives right south of Canada. He said it was 43 degrees yesterday and he couldn't turn on his his heater. Really think about that. When you really think about that, think of all the people who sign in using Facebook as their login for all their websites. Couldn't get in yesterday. Yeah. Unbelievable. What's the last app you downloaded, Brandon?
Last app I downloaded was DraftKings.
Ooh, DraftKings. I like DraftKings.
Sports betting's not legal in Montana, but I travel quite a bit, and so when I do travel, it becomes legal.
It does. Yeah. It does. It was illegal in Illinois for a while, and I downloaded the same thing. If I was in Vegas or some other place, I'd be like, oh, I can bet on this game. That's good, man. That's good. Do you love to win or do you hate to lose?
I hate to lose. Great question. Hate to lose.
You hate to lose. Any reason why?
I I mean, if we're going to be real, like transparent and vulnerable, honest
What
here,
we
I
do
feel
here.
like I feel like losing has the potential to define me, to label me as not being good enough, not validating me. And everybody wins; anybody can win, but losing is what potentially could define you.
Yeah, I
And
like that.
I hate
That's
that.
good. Never really had that as an answer. That's good shit. Um, yeah, that's good stuff. I like that. Two things in the world got us to where we are, we believe, here at Agency Intelligence. One's skill, one's luck. What's been a bigger factor in your life, Brandon?
Luck have failed way more times than I've had success.
I can definitely agree with that. Not agreeing with you. I'm saying that I
You're
can see
right.
that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, Brandon, you fail a lot.
Welcome to the show.
Uh,
Oh man, that's great. Brandon, so that the rest of the world probably knows you, but let's act like they don't. Take us back to high school, take us to college, bring us forward to where you are now, how you got there.
Graduated high school here in Montana, went down to Texas for school. Was down there for 2 years, transferred back to Montana, and right out of school, got a job working at a bank. Was trying to get into commercial lending, and after being at the bank for about 2 months, I had a family reunion. My cousin, who took over his mom and dad's insurance agency, just said, just in passing, why don't you work with us? And I said, I don't know what you do. I don't get insurance. And he goes, well, let's go to lunch. And I said, well, first question is, what's it pay? Like, that's all that matters right now at, 22 years old is student loans, life, rent. Like, what's it pay? And so we go to lunch, and in the end, obviously in the industry now, 18 years, working as a partner with my cousin, running the family business, and here in Western Montana, and am passionate about not insurance, but motivating, encouraging, and challenging people to be the best version of themselves. And insurance just happens to be the gateway, the door, the industry that we're in.
Right, right. And if that's your long-term goal, how great was it that he made that in passing, hey, you should work for us, Besides all the beautiful parts of the insurance industry being the greatest in the world, that's pretty interesting there. I like that a lot.
We bring up that lunch appointment often. Very pivotal time in both of our lives. So yeah, very, very grateful.
So you have been instrumental in helping this create the success of IAOA. You're now a speaker, very heavily traveling around. I always enjoy when I get to hear you. I always take away some things from the way that you pose and position yourself out there to the audience in the successes that you've had. But now you have this new thing. And I don't want to just say new thing. You have something I think that you've probably, I'm guessing here, loyal listeners, you've probably been working on this a while in your head, whether you knew it or not. And why don't you give, I think people have probably heard it. They maybe got an email. But what is this new thing that you're doing to try and help other people?
Yeah, well, let's take a step back. Let's go back to the beginning of 2021. The idea, the punchline is a book or a planner for 2022 for the new year. But how we got to that, like as you said, started a year ago. Last October, last November is really where the idea started to come together and what this would look like. Coming into 2021, at the beginning of the year when everybody's setting their resolutions, their goals, I really wanted to simplify my goals for the year. And I kid you not, Jason, I had like 4 goals this year. Number 1 was to read 2 books. Like 2. You heard me right. 2. Because that would be more than double what I've read in the prior year.
Gotcha.
I'm not a reader. I don't enjoy reading. It's the opportunity cost. I feel like sitting down and grabbing a book, there's so much more I could be doing, and I just don't find it enjoyable. And then I'm not comprehending what I'm reading because I'm thinking about other things while I'm just scanning pages. So my goal for this year was to read 2 books. Here we are in October. I can say I think I'm on number 14 or 15. It's been a huge year because I've just got into it. It's the discipline and pushing yourself to become better. So that was one of my goals. My second goal was to not step foot in a Walmart this year, for no particular reason. I just, Walmart.
I like it.
Didn't want one. And I've gone into Walmart twice this year. Traveling, had to run in and get some children's Tylenol for my daughter in Florida. And then I had a flat tire, and Walmart was right there, and it was like 11 o'clock at night. And so,
Right.
2 times. But my big goal, the big thing I wanted to do this year was learn to live a life without hurry. I wanted to just slow down, slow the pace of life down. I realized that, if I look back, everybody listen to this. When I ask you, why did you enter the insurance industry? Your response is typically one of 2 reasons, or both: earning capacity and lifestyle. Yet, Jason, am I not right here? We are busier than we've ever been, and we're not satisfied with our results. We are still grinding, pushing, getting in that hamster wheel and just running. Like, a lot of us run independent agencies and are working in the business from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, or 8 to 7, or 7 to 7. And then we go home, we see the wife, we see the kids, we put them to bed, and then we start working on our tech startup, our automation, our technology, our marketing, and we're building out so that we can make more money, so that we can have the lifestyle we desire. And I just was at the place this year of asking myself, like, Brandon, why are you in such a hurry to become someone you don't like? And so I began on this journey of figuring out time management, life balance, and what that looks like in my life. I feel like the biggest threat to my agency, to my life, is the speed in which I'm living life. Just go all the time takes away from deeper, more meaningful relationships. And so as I'm figuring this out in my life and figuring out, like, hey, if I can just accept my limitations, accept my quirks, the scars and bruises, the bumps, and just the things that make us us, and not try to be like everyone else, I can take a step back and just breathe and just own who I am. And so, I could spend a whole hour talking with you about, life balance and time management and some of the things I figured out. But probably the biggest takeaway for me, Jason, was learning that life balance isn't a 50-50 split. It's being 100% present. Whatever's in front of you right now is the most important. I don't know how many times in the past I've been guilty of, grabbing my phone and one of my kids is talking to me and, hey, Dad, can we? And I'm just, yeah, sure, yep, yes, honey. And then an hour later, I'm wondering, like, what are you guys doing? Why do you have the ladder out on the shed and jumping off the top onto the trampoline? What made you think that was a good idea? And like, we asked you for permission and you said yes. And I'm like, boy, where am I? Like, I'm so wrapped up in, and so I just had to create different disciplines in my life to make sure I am doing everything I can to be 100% present. And then I found over the course of the last 18, 19 years, I've learned a few things of how to structure the calendar for a producer, where you can actually get the results you want and still maintain the lifestyle you've ever dreamt of. And so that's really what put me on the journey the last year of creating a producer planner, a planner that allows you to schedule out your week. And, this isn't Outlook. We're not putting in all the details of who you need to call and the dentist and the kids' sporting event and date night. It's a planner to look at, block scheduling, batching your different tasks. Like, here's the ideal time for appointments. Here's the ideal time for follow-up. Here's where you want to go and look for new leads. Here's where you want to send out your quotes. Here's where you want to follow up with your quotes. Here's where you want to do your data entry. And so based on what I've learned in my experience and what we've taught and developed our team to do, have seen phenomenal results. We've got property casualty producers that are working 32 to 40 hours a week max and generating anywhere between $10,000 and $12,000 a month in revenue because of just the systems we've used that have come back to just life balance, being focused, rather than working on a quote and then answering the phone and then responding to a text, just being very, very disciplined in our time. And so this last year, I've recorded some videos on some training on how to do that, what that looks like, and then actually published the 2022 producer planner that I just called Let's Go. I mean, we want the lifestyle, we want the earning capacity, let's go, let's do it. It takes discipline. Earlier you and I were talking about 75 hard, which you are just I mean, dude, first of all, you're looking fit. Like, listeners, look at this dude. Like, chiseled jawline. Cass is the healthiest version of Cass. And, but it takes discipline. It's time management. It's not that the tasks are difficult. It's the discipline. But if you want to have the results, you just, let's go. Let's do it. Let's get up and make it happen. And so created this planner. But I thought there was one piece missing. And that was, I see in multiple networking groups, Facebook, Instagram, it's almost daily where you see an agency owner say, hey, got a client moving from Indiana to California. Do you know an agent? Who do you recommend? And then a name gets tagged, and then you refer your client to them, and you have no idea who that person is or the quality of service they're going to provide your client.
Agreed.
And that can be scary. So what I wanted to do was I created a list of 52 preferred partners. Over the last year, I sat down, hopped on calls, and it worked out perfectly. 52 weeks in the year, 52 preferred partners, one from each state, Washington, D.C. and Canada included. And throughout the planner, each week, there's a piece of wisdom, some knowledge, some education, a thought from these really, rock star agents throughout the planner. But in the back of the planner have a directory of these 52 agents, their contact information, so that when you have an agent moving or a client moving from Florida, Texas for school, and you don't know who to refer them to, somebody to trust, I can tell you right here in the back, they're listed with their contact information. They are
interesting,
vetted.
Brandon.
I
That's
know
interesting.
them. I've interviewed them. I've talked to them about my goals and what it means to take care of a client and service them well, and got them in here. I am absolutely honored by the people that are in here that have reached out to me to partner with this, and just being able to speak into their lives, giving them and their team tools and resources to be better with their time, get the results they want, but also connecting rock star agents with rock star agents.
Right.
So many of the different forums we have are for agency owners, but a lot of that business we're passing down to the next generation, to our producers. So wanted to create a network of producers to begin building relationships, building trust, and serving, so that my client is served well to whoever I refer them to across the United States. And so put the directory together, combined the planner with the video course, and just super pumped to have this launch in here in the next
Brandon,
month.
let's give some shout outs. Who's the agent in Texas?
Texas, I can tell off the top of my head, that's Andy Priestman.
Ooh.
Andy's a great dude, well connected, and has all the different relationships for whatever risk you may have. He can get you covered. So
Two more. Let's do Florida.
Florida, Billy Wagner.
Boom.
Billy Wagner is when Billy speaks, I listen, and
Damn right.
will definitely trust my client. I'll trust your client with Billy Wagner.
Yeah. No, absolutely. One more, Virginia.
Virginia, Jason Kilgo. Kilgo Insurance.
Dude, you do have some studs.
He's a man on a mission and doing great things in Virginia, and honored to have him in here.
Yeah, dude, that is fantastic. Dude, that is an interesting idea. I have thought that all the time. Like we use that inside the mastermind, and I mean, all the agents that are in there, I believe, are cutting edge. But sometimes I'm sending my client to him, and I'm thinking, man, I hope that person really knows what the hell they're doing.
Right.
So great idea to put that together, dude. That's thinking outside the box.
So yeah, I mean, it's the one thing it does do is it fixes a need in our agency. Because my team daily is coming to me. Hey, Brandon, do you know anybody in Colorado have a client moving? And I'm putting this in your hands so you can stop asking me. Yes, I know somebody. But
It's true, man.
And there's so many more. I mean, these 52 were the first 52. And I mean, there's rock star studs out there.
I mean, there is. I'm not Illinois, and I mean, I'm in Illinois. So obviously there's better.
Exactly. Exactly.
No, I really am, though. I'm impressed. That's an interesting thing. I've never heard anybody say that we need to do that or need to do that. And that's really great to take that. I have 2 new producers in my office. They've been there about 4 or 5 months. They're going to benefit from this, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, what would you say would be a main thing that you're good that would you say they're going to have better direction, time management? I know we talked about some of that stuff, but overall, will it affect each of them differently? What do you think, Brandon?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, the way I see it is the only way, the best way to live life is to be intentional. So you have to be intentional about your time. There's so many different things that we bring balance to. We talk about balancing our tires, balancing our portfolio, balancing our checkbook, balancing our type of business. But why do we struggle to balance our time? And the way to fix that is being intentional. So everybody's going to have different, personalities, desires, relationship goals, time management. People are going to naturally tend to selling and relationships, where others are going to tend to sitting in a back office and quoting and data entry, just because we're all different. So it really depends on the individual. Now, I can tell you in my life, I am very, very disciplined with my schedule, and a huge fan of block scheduling. So Jason, Mondays are all for marketing for me. I block out certain times for marketing for whatever company, whatever product I'm working on. We do all of our marketing on Monday. Tuesdays where I'm digging deep into technology. Tuesdays are all about technology, where we're updating, tweaking, fixing, changing our technology, our automation, different campaigns. Wednesday is where we're doing the work, the things that come out of our different meetings that need to be addressed and dealt with. Wednesday's all for work. Thursday is meetings, I wanted to keep the whole theme going, so think tanks. I try to schedule all of my meetings on Thursday from 8 a.m. until I'm done. It's interesting because Thursday comes to a close, and I often feel like I didn't accomplish anything today. Nothing got done. I didn't respond to an email.
But that was the other day.
It's so freeing because it frees up the other 6 days of the week.
Right.
I don't have meetings, and I'm able to work on what came out of those meetings. Friday is for fun. I try to be real disciplined on my engagement on social media. If you watch, Jason, the time I'm liking and engaging on social media is often Friday mornings. I deliberately block out time to scroll social media and to engage, to motivate, encourage, challenge, learn. It's easy to get wrapped up in social media and just scroll throughout the week and lose time. So I schedule that. Friday afternoons are just the fun projects, whatever I'm passionate about, what do I want to work on. A lot of this planner was put together on Friday afternoons because it's just where I want to end the week on a high note of just fun. Saturdays are for Smiths. Much like you, Saturdays are where we go out and have fun and do things as a family and travel and engage and play. And then Sunday, I'm a huge fan of Sabbath, taking a day of just resting, relaxing, and not doing so much, labor-intensive work, but just enjoying life and recalibrating. But again, this whole thing comes back to being intentional. Every Sunday night, my wife and my kids, we take 5 to 10 minutes to just look at the calendar for the upcoming week, talk through the logistics, make sure we're all on the same page, because we want to be intentional with our time, because we want to enjoy the lifestyle that we signed up for 18 years ago.
That's right. No, dude, that's really good. And I have to say, I think this time blocking thing is becoming big. And I say becoming big, meaning few people are actually doing it, but you hear a lot of people talking about it. One of the things that I do not have every day, but my two biggest days are Tuesday and Thursday. So I put all of my podcasts, if I'm going to do a podcast on Tuesday or Thursday. And mine, I just did it because I was tired of being all over the place. When I wake up on Monday morning, I don't take any meetings on Mondays at all. That's my day where I'm just trying to organize things and to get things going. My Wednesday afternoons, I never make an appointment or anything after 12, because if I feel as if I need to take a break and rest or go play golf, that's when I'm going to do it. But my Thursdays are that way. I got it a lot from Billy Williams. He talks about time blocking all the time. If you want to have a call with Billy, you're going to talk to him on Tuesday or Thursday, because that's the only time he does calls. If you want him to be on a meeting, a webinar, a podcast, you're going to have to do it on Thursday, because that's the only time that he takes it, right? He's got certain things. He's very deliberate. Go ahead.
What happens here, the downside is I just told you I only schedule meetings on Thursdays. But guess what? You record podcasts on Tuesdays. Today's Tuesday. One of
This
us
is your
had
technology
to
day.
one of us had to take a step back from our ideal schedule to serve, to appease, to work with the
Yes.
other one. And so what I think is really, really important to remember is that life happens. My ideal work week has never happened at 100%.
Right.
What I aim for is 75%. We got to leave room for margin. Life's going to happen. Things are going to come up. Opportunities are going to present themselves. Kids are going to get hurt. There's going to be school emergencies. So my target is really 75% of my ideal week, which allows for flexibility to, hey, hop on AI podcast or meet with people who need to meet with me. But the big, most important piece is when I do make those adjustments, be 100% present.
Absolutely.
Right now, just be with Jason because Jason's important. Jason matters. And if I properly manage my time and my calendar, nothing's being missed right now.
Right.
I find the whole hurry thing. Jason, do this tonight. When you go to bed, lay down, replay in your mind today. How many times were you in a hurry or say hurry, or your kids, hurry, get in the car, hurry, put your shoes on. We got to go. Hurry. That driving through traffic, I'm going to be late. Let's go. What I found is every time I say hurry is like a red light of, hey, poor communication or time management multiple steps ago.
Really
I have to be telling my kids, hey, we're going to be leaving in 30 minutes. Make sure you're ready. Not yelling at them to get out the door because that's poor communication on my part. If I'm driving late through traffic, I messed up on my calendar somewhere and didn't properly set the calendar to work in the way to give me the results I wanted. So the more I dive into this and learn and study and just examine my own life, I find that, like I said at the very beginning, I think hurry is the greatest threat to our lives right now and the world we live in. And so I just want to find ways to slow down, simplify the pace in which we live life, and still enjoy it every step of the way.
Wow. That's good stuff. And I'm trying to think of this I can't really put it all together right now, but I was speaking with a counselor. They're like a clinical psychiatrist stuff. Not for my own reason. I do speak with one, but it wasn't this point. They were talking about the reason why kids are the way they are in certain aspects. And when a kid is rushed, when a kid is hurried, that means there was poor communication. It means that they are trying to guess what the outcome will be.
Yeah.
And when you have kids who are always trying to guess at what the outcome is going to be, that creates an unstable mental state because kids need to know what's next. They need to have structure. And so I can't remember exactly what was the poll. That was one of the points that she brought out. And I thought that was pretty amazing. And you get a lot of kids today that, hey, we're going to go to this thing. And they're, I don't want to go there. Da, da, da. They never even been there. Right? But it's their job by the life they have lived to have to try to guess and assume what it's going to be because I'm in a hurry and I've been told that I need to do something. I can't really remember right now. But, man, it was so in line with what you're saying.
No, that's great. And I would challenge, it's not just kids. I think us as adults, we thrive and do best under structure when we know what the parameters are in which we're working in. I love that quote by Zig Ziglar. If you aim at nothing, you'll hit it every time. And so we have to be so intentional. So actually what I did in this planner is I created the acronym of AIM. He says if you aim at nothing, you'll hit it every time. So AIM to me, AIM, is what do I need to accomplish? Where do I need to take initiative? And what messages do I need to respond to today? So every morning, that's how I start my day. I aim like, okay, here's what has to be done today. What has to be accomplished? Where do I need to step up, be proactive, take initiative? And what messages via Facebook Messenger, email, text? Like what do I have to get back to today? And that creates the structure, the framework inside of which I operate. And so I love it. I think structure is so key.
I'll tell you what, you got this shit down. You should write a book.
Hey, we're working on that.
So when's the book come out, man?
The official launch date is November 15th. They will land in mailboxes then. Got, the prototypes are all coming in. Just doing some final just layout, looking at, some edits. So November 15th they're available. producerdp.com/2022.
Say it again.
Producer DP, as in Producer Development Program. producerdp.com/2022 is the landing page for the book to pre-order right now. And you can read all about it and see what it's about and what we're doing. And those will be shipping and landing in mailboxes Monday, November 15th.
Man, dude, excited for you for this, dude. Excited
Thank
for
you.
you. Well, and you've got the history, and you've got the clout to be able to be someone that should be listened to. And I think I know that. And I think a lot of people know you, Brandon, from like Nicholas, or they know you hang out with Grant, and that stuff like that. But I think it's important that people really get to know you and who you are. And I've been following you probably since 2012, 2011, somewhere in there, where you've had some of the ups and downs in your life, just like we always have,
Yeah.
And it's so great to see the high that you're on right now with your wife and the kids and things like that. And you live in actually one of the most beautiful states in America. Just most people don't realize it, right? Because it depends on what side you go to. Because if you go to the east side, it's not as pretty as when you go to the west side, right?
Yeah.
So
Beautiful
anyways.
roles. But no, well, thank you. I appreciate that. And Nick, lifelong friend through highs and lows.
That's my buddy.
Grant, amazing friend, brother-in-law. So great. But there are so many others that.
Brother-in-law? I didn't know that.
You didn't know that? Grant and I are
You
brother-in-law.
married his sister?
We married sisters.
Oh, you married? Excuse me. Sorry, loyal listeners. We won't leave that out. Yeah, no, we don't do that if I make a difference. Wow, dude, I didn't know that you guys were married to sisters.
Yeah. So we're family.
So is that how you met her? And when you were hanging out with Grant or something? Or what?
Originally, yeah. So Grant and I, our relationship goes way back to, we didn't know this till later on, but we played basketball against each other in college. And our life, just our belief system, our intentionality with family, I mean, just our core principles align. And it's just,
wow.
Yeah,
and so
one of my closest
wow.
friends, and
That's
family.
crazy.
So best of both worlds.
I did not know that. That is cool as can be.
Dude, we could do a whole podcast on just amazing people in this industry outside of insurance, just their genuine heart for people. Like as I put together this planner and talked to 52 different agents and vetted them, I mean, from guys like, Billy Wagner to Bradley Flowers, Chris Paradiso, Claudia McLean, just that's what I love the most about our industry is the people, the relationships. And you've heard me speak, and everything I speak comes back to that core relationships and people are more important than products. And that's what I love about this network we have is the people. Absolutely pumped when there's an event or opportunity to see my peers, my friends, my family.
My friends.
So,
yeah, these conferences
what a
are
great industry we're in.
Oh, it's the greatest in the world. And I want all the loyal listeners to know that Brandon has the book coming out. He did not reach out to me. And he did not say, hey, Cass, I want to tell you about my book or whatever. He doesn't even really like me because I'm not in the Illinois as the agent. But I'm totally loyal. If you're not watching this on YouTube, loyal listeners, he's laughing and so am I. But no, for real, I reached out to him. Because I saw what he had, and I'm going to make sure that my producers are going to read the book. And then after I've started reading your emails that have been coming out, I've been paying attention to them. And I thought to myself, this is something that everybody in the industry needs to know about. And so, just so you know, loyal listeners, he did not come to me. I came to him. That's just genuine. I think that this is going to be
thank you. In fact, to your credit, you were in the middle of your big event. You took time away from your event off stage to reach out to me. And so I wasn't at your event in Texas. You're not in Illinois. So maybe we can fix that in 2022.
All right, man. That's good. That's good. That's good. Not always known to be the comedian, but got some of that too, Brandon. That'll be
Hey,
your next book. Hey, man, I learned some stuff myself, and I greatly appreciate it. Anything last minute you want to say as we wrap up?
gosh, be intentional. Be focused. Live life to the fullest. Work hard. Play hard. Um, yeah. Love
It's
your
worth it.
family before your business, and you'll see phenomenal results. So, dude,
Yeah.
always an honor. Appreciate you. Thank you for your voice and influence, not just in the industry, but into my own life and my business. There's things we do here in Missoula, Montana, because of Jason Cass. So,
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much, Brandon. And for all you loyal listeners, you can find him out there on LinkedIn. You can find him. That's always the best way. You can find it at producerdp.com/2022. Was that it?
That's it. Nailed it.
See, I've given up caffeine, sugar, no alcohol. I drink a gallon of water a day. I can remember things now. I mean, that was amazing that I remembered that.
You're a new man.
For a while. But anyways, hey man, I appreciate very much everything that you do. Loyal listeners, I appreciate you. Now get out there, trying to go to that website that I just said and get on that list so that you can have it on November 15th inside of your mailbox. I know that I will. And in the meantime, I do what I do because I do it for you. This has been Cass and this has been Smith. And today I found a real agent inside a real agency giving you the real agency intelligence and not the artificial that they try to make you believe out there. We out.